we have any other announcements?
What time is it?
I love you guys.
What time is it, Ray?
Let's keep this going.
All right.
What time is it,
another
Ray?
one. So I announced
6:08.
this at another low attendance General Assembly, but I want to have a White Allies caucus. So if anybody's interested in working with me on that,
I have.
I'll be working on it.
I have.
All right. My computer is not working.
What's wrong with it?
Because what it is a group
It's not
to be
working.
allied with.
Looks like
Hey,
Yeah,
why
virus.
why everybody dealing with color? You have more support if you didn't deal with color.
42%.
yeah, that's your problem. It's cold, man.
I mean, I just had it in the house. It just does this sometimes. I might have a virus.
I'm just wondering if anybody else has been talking about that or interested in that or would like to talk to me about doing something like that. I'm not offering to do it.
I videotape.
Yeah, I know that Holly's friend is working on at least making like good portions, like splicing them together of the meeting. I don't know his name.
Callie was right over there. Callie's right over there, and she was talking about
Hey.
it in the town. Yeah.
Or she's the one that always is cooking stuff.
No, actually, I don't think Callie's here. I think Callie went to CVS.
No,
with John.
okay, so they went to CVS and
Yeah, I'll point her out.
Should I talk?
She's supposed to.
You have an announcement?
We're going to have this.
Do you want me to explain how the process works? Because I don't know.
Hey, I'm gonna explain something to you, then you can speak out to everybody else.
All right, what's up?
Why it got to be a color issue? Why it got to be a person that only one person can actually interact with other people?
That's what it's for. There's solidarity groups to interact with people that are like you.
You know what I mean? Why it got to be that? You know what I mean? Why it got to be just one person can speak?
Don't be starting it.
Restart that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Why everybody holding their opinions back?
This is a cold puppy.
It's just something small within it to talk. Just
Well, you know what I mean? Why it got to
sometimes
be
you get
that way?
lonely when you don't have anyone to talk to about certain things.
Y'all got me in smoke. Why it got to be one eye saying something? Why everybody can't talk for themselves?
Yeah, I know.
They can. That's why we.
Oh man, look at the tent.
Let's just move on.
Yeah, I'm going after me.
Okay, so agenda items. Last night we had agreed to put what on tonight's agenda?
What
It
is-
was deciding about the
Oh.
press release. Oh yeah.
I'm dipping off.
So, Joe, what's up, Eddie? How's it going?
So,
Because y'all look at one side.
Alan, I'll talk to you later, dude. I'll explain.
You can talk to me anytime.
I know. You're like my brother, man.
I can say I'm staying outside of the outline. You know what I mean?
going now.
And I feel that y'all looking at one side of a equation.
All right.
Let's continue on.
So
Oh
basically,
man.
we have to look at whether or not we want to issue a press release about city council stuff, and what that would say. So why don't we go ahead and start stack?
Do we have other things?
Sorry.
Oh, I
Again.
have. Sorry. We were trying to
I'm sorry.
get the actual letter. Does anybody have that the rest of the group sent?
I didn't get a chance
Okay,
to,
well then,
to type it
that's
out
cool.
today.
Yeah, that's.
But Larry,
Do you have? Because I have an iPhone. So can maybe read it off the iPhone? Do you
I don't
That's
think they
one
have
side
it
of the
transcribed.
don't have it. Okay.
It's basically it was in
I
the
feel
video.
y'all looking at one side of the equation. I don't
Okay,
give a fuck what
process is getting lost.
Okay,
So-
come on. Let's
So
regroup a little bit.
does anybody have any other agenda items that they want to add for tonight?
Let's can you restate the
Whether or not we want to issue a press release and what it would say in regards to the city council meeting the other night and specifically the Rutherford Institute's role in that meeting.
I think we should add press in general.
Okay, so that's one agenda item. Does anybody have any other agenda items that they want to add?
Press in general.
Press. Okay? Do you have that? And I don't want to get into the whole discussion, but I want to remind everybody of the things that we need to be thinking about before Tuesday's GA.
Right. Let's keep that off the agenda because that's tabled.
Right. It's tabled, but I want everybody to be thinking about.
But I don't want to discuss it tonight.
Right.
We all know we need to talk.
Well, not everybody here was at the meeting last night.
What about Tuesday?
So Tuesday night, we decided last night that we were going to table the discussion on whether or not we would engage with the city, what that conversation would look like, and alternate places for moving. So basically, just keep those things in mind throughout the week. Look at other spaces, figure out the logistics of whether or not you think they would work well. And then on Tuesday, that's when our big GA is going to be on deciding those things. Whether or not we're going to engage with City Council, and how that conversation will look if we choose to do it. So, first agenda item is whether or not we want to issue a press release for the Rutherford Institute situation. And is there anybody here that's not familiar with what we're talking about in that? Okay.
I think
So-
you had one hand.
One hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Spread this circle out.
Yeah, it's looking a little wonky.
So
I just asked her. I mean, I've been sick.
We could do a quick recap. It wouldn't take that long.
So they gave you an extension, but y'all gotta find a better place to go.
well, I need to be in the middle so that I can keep the phone. Well, no, because that's like as facilitator, I should be able to like look around. Okay, so the recap on the issue at hand is that Megan and I went and had a meeting with the Rutherford Institute on Monday, in which we asked them to write a letter of support to City Council saying that they supported Occupy Charlottesville. They said that they would be willing to write that letter as long as they could add a stipulation that said if City Council wanted us to move, that they would provide an alternate space for us to move to. The way it was read at Council was a little bit more vague than that, and it was somewhat construed as though they may be thinking that they're representing us, or the city may be thinking that they are representing us when they're actually not. So we were talking last night about should we write a press release specifically stating that the Rutherford Institute does not represent us.
Indeed.
And also, how do we recognize our interaction with council on Monday night? So let's take a stack to open up this talk, and we'll do it right here.
Okay. Just to give a little perspective on this issue with regard to the Rutherford Institute representing us and that possible perception, I talked with Rutherford this morning when I got to work, and I asked them specifically, have you in any way elucidated to the city that you are representing us? And they said, no, absolutely not, in no way, shape, or form. The proposal that they put forth is John's proposal alone. It is not, it is separate from us. It doesn't really have anything to do with us. It is something that we could potentially maybe tap into if we saw fit to, but it is not put forth specifically for us. The Rutherford Institute has actually been engaged with other groups. Occupy Delaware, they represented Occupy Delaware there when Occupy Delaware was denied a permit. They represented them there. So they are very aware of essentially the whole freedom of speech issue and First Amendment rights with regard to Occupy, and are participating with some Occupies in various capacities. But they are in no way representing us, and they assured me that they are not putting that out at all to anyone, particularly not the city.
We have a stack behind him if you want to talk.
So with regard to the press release, one further addition with regard to that, I looked at everything in the news that is in the print media, that is online from the different television There is nothing in any of that about the Rutherford Institute representing us. So my feeling is this: we do not need to put forth a press release to that effect, because there is nothing out there that says that. So.
Get in stuff.
It's really good to hear that. I'm glad that I've actually been reading the press and watching the news too, and I got the same impression. The only thing that maybe, I'm not even sure if this concerns me or not, but it seems like the Rutherford Institute has been talking with the city and we've not been involved, which is fine. They're trying to set up their own free speech forum that's not related to us, I suppose. But, I do feel like at some point we need to be part of these talks, because it seems like the mayor...
I have a point of information.
Yeah.
With regard to what you mentioned about their free speech forum, that is actually a physical structure in a park that John Whitehead would like to see created. Okay, it doesn't have anything to do with us.
I understand that.
He's probably been thinking about this for a long time.
Yeah. I understand that, and I guess my concern would not be that the Rutherford Institute is talking to the city about a free speech forum, but my concern would be that the mayor has been, suggesting to the press that we're going to be leaving, and that our leaving is going to be somehow attached to this free speech forum that he's working with, and we're not part of that process right now.
I guess my concerns about what's going on right now are not so much what the Rutherford Institute is doing or not doing.
Ooh.
I'm concerned because when I come into camp now, I have a bunch of people coming up to me saying, oh, guess what I heard? Or I heard this thing. Or, ooh, I heard somebody just tell the press this. We seriously need to have talks about how you talk to the media.
It's on the agenda.
Not spreading
It's
rumors.
on the agenda.
All right,
So we can address that later.
I hear different things every day. I heard somebody say that they were going to call the state police on us this morning, and that's like ridiculous. So, yeah, sorry, that's my own.
Oh God! Anybody else in staff?
Me. I feel there's divisiveness in our group, and I can tell you this, from having been through this before in other situations, that is what's going to destroy this. Don't let it. Understand that there are differences within the group. Moderate them, understand them, recognize them, deal with them, and put them behind us and move forward. If you allow divisiveness to grab this group, then it will be the last of this. That's it. It's going to be the end. Write it off. Won't even make the middle of December. So grab hold of your issues by the reins and demand that you be heard.
All right, so that's the last of the stats. So can I get a temperature check on taking consensus as to whether or not we want to draft a statement addressing the Rutherford Institute? A temperature check on consensus. No. You don't want to take a temperature check?
No,
yet?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to say no. No, I don't think
it's gonna.
Bailey.
Okay. Clarification.
It seems like the topic, the agenda is on press release about city council. Now you just put the proposal you said is to the Rutherford Institute. I would say city council needs to know that we're not working with them more than they know. It seems that they're clear on that.
Okay.
They know that.
Hold on. Process. So there's two items in the agenda. One is the Rutherford Institute, and one is issuing a press release regarding our interaction with council on Monday. So I'm going to separate those out and ask for consensus on the Rutherford Institute. It seems as if people don't want to address that because it hasn't publicly been addressed already. So can we take a consensus saying that we're not going to address the Rutherford Institute? You don't want to address it?
Not going to.
Not okay. Is there anybody that stands aside on that? Meaning you want to address it, but you'll go along with the group if they agree not to. And is there anybody that blocks it? Okay, so we're not going to address the Rutherford Institute in that press release. Now, we need to discuss issuing a press release in regards to our interaction with City Council on Monday. So why don't we take a stack on that, and we'll do it right here.
I want to speak